Good morning, Mr. Chairman. We are now in the public session.
Thank you very much. All right, this May 20, 2026 regular telephonic meeting of the Connecticut State Elections Enforcement Commission is called to order. My name is Steve Penny, Chair of the Commission, and I'd like to welcome you to today's meeting. This meeting is being conducted virtually in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act, which authorizes public agencies to conduct meetings in this format. The meeting is being recorded for on-demand viewing and will be available for at least 45 days. Because of the virtual format of this meeting, there are some special rules and procedures that I need to cover before we begin. First, I ask all participants to mute your device when you are not speaking. Second, all speakers must make a good faith effort to state the speaker's name and title at the outset of each occasion that such speaker participates in the meeting. Third, all votes must be taken by roll call unless the vote is unanimous. With that said, I'll ask the other commissioners and the executive director to identify themselves at this time, please.
Commissioner Shannon Berquist.
Greg Pietzu.
Commissioner Sonia Morella, sorry.
Ryan Burns, Executive Director and General Counsel.
Very good. For the record, we have a quorum of the commissioners present. Mr. Executive Director, are there any changes to the agenda?
I would only note that there was an error at the bottom. It says that the next regular scheduled meeting is June 3rd, but starting next week, we'll be having our weekly CEP approval meeting. So next week, the next regular meeting is May 28th, 2026 at 3:30.
May 28. Okay, thank you. All right, if there are no other matters, then we will deal with the minutes. And the minutes that are before us are of May 6, 2026. Are there any additions or corrections to be made to the minutes? Not appearing, is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I just noticed on page 13, there was a typo in one of the attorney's names.
Okay. So I'm sure that will be taken care of. So with that one addition or correction, is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
Move Pietzu.
Second Berquist.
It's moved and seconded. Any discussion? Not appearing, those in favor of approval of the minutes with the one change will raise their hands and or say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Not appearing, the minutes are approved with 4 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. Next item on the agenda is the report of the Executive Director and General Counsel, Ryan Burns.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Quite a lot going on at the Commission. So CEP grant season starts today. We have a few committees that have already scheduled their drop-offs. We also have moved our audit lottery regulations toward Attorney General review, which is the next step in the process. So we've gotten through public comment, and now we will be continuing those through the process. We did not receive any comments on the posted regs, and they went through as the Commission previously approved. Our fiscal team has now begun the process of wrapping up our fiscal year, which technically ends at the end of June. But all purchases and really our fiscal year shuts off on June 15th. So we're just wrapping up any final fiscal items for this fiscal year. We are projecting a small surplus return to the general fund at the end of this year, which is exactly, I think, where we want to be. I also want to just note that our IT team has completed its server application and workstation image upgrades for the year. Our systems are far more stable, and we have no planned downtime during the CEP grant season. For the enforcement numbers, which you have in your packet, we have 169 open cases. 33 of those are on hold almost entirely for law enforcement referrals. 49 are non-filers, and 91 are active complaints, referrals, and non-filers. The only thing I want to note for that, that's the first time that I can remember that I've seen the number of active complaints, referrals, and non-filers be under 100, and I just want to recognize the enforcement unit for their work in getting to that point. We still have a lot of work to do, but we certainly are moving that along. Similar good news, as I think I mentioned in the last meeting, we have no general election audits pending. That entire backlog has been wiped out. And you will be receiving a report concerning our special election audits in your agenda in your packet for the next meeting on the next regular meeting on June 3rd. So not the CEP meeting, but the meeting following that. On our grant application side, we had 71 committees come in for pre-application reviews. Those have been completed, and 64 of those committees have met thresholds. So they will be expected to come in and have a relatively simple grant approval process, assuming they've not done anything odd between their pre-application review and their grant application. That will cover the legislative items. Unless there's any questions, I can move on to the legislative update that's in your packet.
Any questions or comments for the executive director, other than the fact that they're making great progress on old files? So congratulations and thanks.
Great job.
Thank you. The legislative update that's in your packet, I will say largely we had a successful year. There was not a lot of focus on SEEC, which was exactly where I think we wanted to be during this legislative session, given all the transitions that the commission has undergone in this last year. There were no major changes to the citizen election program. Our independence was maintained. There was no new restrictions on our operations. And in fact, there was some expansion of our authority, which at least shows that we still have credibility within the legislative branch to execute our mission. A couple of highlights. House Bill 5352 passed unanimously, and that removes the mandatory one-year dismissal deadline for any violations of Chapter 151. That was something that the legislature had asked us if we had any improvements, and that was an area that we went through, and we actually drafted that language. So we appreciated the support from both sides of the aisle. Again, no objections on that issue. The one kind of asterisk on the generally successful session was SB 1. That was the budget bill. While it did actually give a slight increase to our operational budget, there was a $3.5 million sweep from the Citizens Election Fund. I was fairly concerned at the time that might leave us in a vulnerable position on completing our 2026 grants. Given the developments of the statewide conventions over this past weekend, that concern has gone down. So I think we will probably be in good shape now to be able to cover all grants that are qualified for. But there is a structural problem now looking at 2030. So we will continue to have communications with the legislature over properly funding the CEF for the next gubernatorial election. The big bill that passed and was in fact signed into law yesterday was House Bill 5001. The major thrust of that bill was the establishment of no excuse absentee balloting. The commission took no position on the policy of that matter. We did put in a request that if it were to pass, we got two positions, an investigator and a staff attorney, for the expected increase in investigations and enforcement work. The Office of Fiscal Analysis did add an investigator to that bill as a fiscal note, but it was not included in the ultimate budget. So we will make do with the resources we have, but again, I think that that bill did not properly consider the potential increase in enforcement work that results from that bill. Some additional items that were included in that bill beyond no excuse absentee balloting is we now have investigative and hearing authority over election regulations, not just election statutes, which was not something that was explicit in the statutes before. It doesn't change the civil penalty authority of the commission, but it does clarify our authority over other areas in regulation. We also expanded the Attorney General's authority to seek injunctions at the Superior Court, which would impact our office because if there was custody of election materials or tabulators, that would become something that the court would order us to take a custody of as a nonpartisan agency. I had some private conversations about our storage and staffing capacity. If a large municipality were to have all its tabulators confiscated, we don't have office space to deal with that. But I've received assurances from various officials that they will work with us in the unlikely eventuality that would be required. A few other minor changes. 18-year-olds may now, or those that will turn 18 prior to election day may now participate in early voting and absentee voting, even if they haven't turned 18 by the time they cast that ballot. There's an expansion of risk limiting audits, which again may involve SEEC in that we may have, we will receive certain reports if there's discrepancies, and also may order retention materials, and in addition to certain audits related to the Secretary of State's races who normally would order those audits, because obviously they would be the participant in that election. There's a restriction on law enforcement present within 250 feet of polling places, and they also expanded the number of felonies that concern elections, including unauthorized tabulator access and tampering with drop boxes. I did speak already a bit about the budget bill, that's SB 1. Again, modest increase to our operational budget, but the $3.5 million sweep from the CEF. There are a few bills that did not pass that I just wanted to note, because these may be bills that come back next year. 5027, which is a digital franking privilege bill, was raised but did not get a hearing. There was ranked choice voting, which is a bill that's come back several times, got approved out but didn't get a vote in either chamber. The Municipal Election Accountability Board is a bill that the Secretary of the State has run several times. Again, got approved out of committee but did not get a vote in either chamber. And the venue limitation for election cases, that's 5344. That was restricting elections-related cases to be heard in Hartford or Bridgeport. We supported that bill. It was approved out of committee, but did not get a vote in either chamber. On the CEP side, there were a few bills that were, I think, relevant to our work. There was 5318, which is the committee banking bill. It required the banks to offer committee accounts. We supported that bill, but it stalled getting out of the, I believe it was Appropriations Committee. 5544 would have allowed municipalities to hold their municipal elections at the same time as state elections. We raised some concerns in that bill because of the CEP. We were concerned that expenditures coming out of a CEP fund for a House race would also benefit somebody's municipal candidacy. It also would allow somebody to raise money into a municipal account with money that wouldn't be allowed for a CEP campaign, and that would have an obvious impact because those districts would overlap. So it did not pass out this year, but something that we do want to keep an eye on. There was a change in online donation platforms in 490 that came out of committee. We supported the bill, but it didn't get a vote on either floor. And then the most concerning CEP bill that we had was 5543. That would have capped the amount of aggregate contributions an individual would have to raise, but allow the amount of the grant to continue to increase every year. And it would also allow the amount that people could raise from individuals to raise every year. So essentially limiting the amount of public support one would have to show while getting a larger and not larger grant, and the grant would become more and more disproportionate with the amount of money someone raised. That did pass out of committee, but it did not get a vote in either chamber this year. I did have a lot of conversations with legislators about that bill, and the conversations I've had have gone well. They seem to understand the issue. The final two bills I want to mention were SB 425. This was the Agency Performance Plans bill. It did not just affect SEEC, but it would have affected every state agency, would have had to submit an agency performance plan. The way the bill was originally drafted, we would have had to submit a plan to the OPM, have them approve it, and then would have had to have our performance under that plan reviewed by OPM. As an independent watchdog, we had an independence issue with that structure, and based upon ours and other watchdogs' responses, they changed the language in that bill to make our performance plans reportable only to the Committee of Cognizance, not to any executive branch agency. The bill didn't pass, but it did show that the watchdogs agencies did still have some authority and some credibility on the issue of independence. And finally, I think we've talked this bill to death, is 5253, which is the oversight of fire districts. I imagine we're going to continue to have conversations about that, though I maintain that it's really not our area of competence and it is not properly with this agency. So with that, happy to take any questions or expand further on any bills of interest.
Any questions or comments for the executive director? Yes, Commissioner Piazza.
I think Greg here. We of course will, make do on the upcoming fiscal year with regard to the universal mail-in balloting, but I'm sure we're all going to keep a close eye on complaints that come in, and I think OFA had it right in terms of we are going to need additional staff in the future on that, and I would expect to continue to push for additional staffing, even though we didn't get it this year. Just sort of foreshadowing for the future, that's going to continue to be a priority for the agency to make sure that those types of investigations get the attention they need.
Yeah, I would emphasize that both with respect to the fire service suggestion that we handle elections within fire departments. And I'm not quite sure what was involved in the Secretary of the State's office's bill regarding municipal elections, but if that also requires a close review by this agency, I just hope the legislature would increase staff, that would be consistent with their challenging us to handle these other matters that would be in addition to our agenda. Anyone else on?
No, I was just going to say, I agree. In addition to, if you are now having to do a performance, if that comes back up again, agency performance, then I'm sure that would impact the incredible work we've done so far to move out of kind of the backlog, by having additional work to do. So I'd be concerned if those do pass in future sessions without staffing.
Any other questions or comments? None appearing. The next item on the agenda is to go into executive session. Is there a motion to do so?
Move Piazza.
Second Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. Motion carries, and we will go into executive session. Irene, let me know when.
Mr. Chairman, we are in the public session now.
Thank you very much. All right, the commission is back in public session. We have reviewed items on in an executive session, but we took no actions. We are now going to review the same items in public session. First is a recommendation to council regarding necessary to investigate determinations, and that would be Attorney Smith, please.
Good morning, commissioners. For the record, Attorney William Smith for the commission. At this time, pursuant to our statutes, the commission has been provided with 2 new complaints that were docketed by staff. And I'm asking at this time that the commission find it necessary on the record to further investigate file number 2026-046 and 2026-047.
Right, are there any questions or comments for council? None appearing. The matter before the commission is to approve necessary to investigate determinations with respect to files numbers 2026-046 and 2026-047. Is there a motion to that effect?
Move Piazza.
Second Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. Next item on this item is file number 2024-169. Attorney Smith.
Thank you. For the record, Attorney William Smith for the commission. In the matter of a commission-initiated investigation of NOTEC for the 34th, file number 24-169. This was a commission-initiated investigation following review and validation for the committee's application for the Citizens Election Program. That validation indicated there were 30 contributions that were submitted by employees of the same company, and based on a review of the certification cards, raised some concerns regarding the authenticity of those contributions. At this time, after investigation, the commission can determine that there is insufficient evidence to establish that any alleged violations occurred, and therefore I'm asking that the commission, by this notice of dismissal, dismiss the matter.
All right, are there any questions or comments for council? None appearing. With respect to file number 2024-169, it is the recommendation of council that the complaint in the matter be dismissed. Is it moved?
So moved, Pietro.
Second, Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion to dismiss will raise their hands and or say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. Item 3 on this agenda is file number 2024-059. Attorney Borelli.
I believe that matter is continued.
Oh, I'm
Commissioner.
sorry. You're right. I marked continued in the wrong place. So file number 2024-059 is continued. Next item on the agenda is file number 2025-043.
That's also continued.
That's also continued. Okay. Next is file number 2025-044. Attorney Borelli.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. Attorney Mario Borelli for the Commission. This matter involved a complaint by a member of the public, David Hannon, a resident of Ansonia, Connecticut. The allegations were that the Ansonia and Derby Republican Town Committees had hosted a political event at the St. Sebastian Club and had not properly reported expenditures in their filings. Upon investigation, it was confirmed that the Ansonia Republican Town Committee had hosted a after the 2024 election victory party and had properly reported expenditures. Therefore, we are asking that the commission dismiss this matter.
All right, any questions or comments for council? None appearing. With respect to file number 2025-044, it is the recommendation of council that the complaint in the matter be dismissed. Is it moved?
Moved, Pietro.
Second.
Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion to dismiss will raise their hands and or say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. Next item on this agenda, file numbers 2025-030, 2025-131, and 2026-015. Attorney Ross, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Staff Attorney Johnny Ross III for the Commission. Before the Commission today is a notice of dismissal for the matters that was just stated. The allegations are that Nicholas Sochi, the treasurer for the Fairfield County Young Democrats Political Committee, failed to file a January 10th filing statement in 2025, a October 10th filing for 2025, and a January 10th filing for 2026 in violation of General Statute Section 9-608. During the investigation, records revealed that Nicholas Sochi had resigned from the position of treasurer on October 12, 2021, and Matthew Quinones, the chairperson of the committee, was contacted and advised of his need to appoint a new treasurer pursuant to General Statute Sections 9-602. Mr. Quinones appointed himself as a treasurer, amended several financial disclosure statements, terminated the committee, and produced supporting documentation to support those amendments to the filings. Based on that, it is the recommendation of council that the dismissal is adopted and that these matters are dismissed because Nicholas Sochi resigned from his position as treasurer. Therefore, those allegations pertaining to the failure to file the financial statement should be dismissed for lack of a respondent. And as it relates to Matthew Quinones, due to the work that he put into, again, amending the records, the commission can decline to initiate enforcement proceedings pertaining to his failure to appoint a treasurer pursuant to General Statute Sections 9-602. Thank you.
All right. Are there any questions or comments for council? None appearing. With respect to files numbers 2025-030, 2025-131, and 2026-015, it is the recommendation of council that the complaints in the matter be dismissed. Is it moved?
Move, Pietzi.
Second?
Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. Item 7 on this agenda, file number 2025-129, Attorney Ross.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, Staff Attorney Ross for the Commission. Before the Commission today is a notice of dismissal. The allegations allege that the respondent, Ryan Rosario, who was the treasurer for the, or is the treasurer for the College Democrats of Connecticut, that is a political committee, failed to file a October 10th filing. The investigation did reveal that that filing was made on January 12th, 2026, and the respondent did pay the $100 statutory late filing fee. Based on that, the recommendation of council is that the Commission dismiss this matter.
Any questions or comments for council? None appearing. With respect to file number 2025-129, it is the recommendation of council that the complaint in the matter be dismissed. Is it moved?
Move, Pietzi.
Second Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. As many as are in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. Item 8 on the agenda, file number 2026-016, Attorney Ross.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, Staff Attorney Ross for the Commission. Before the Commission today is a notice of dismissal, which the referral in this matter alleges that Christian Allen, who is the treasurer for the New Canaan Democratic Town Committee, failed to file a January 10th filing in violation of 9-608. The investigation did reveal that the filing was made on April 27, 2026, and the respondent did pay the statutory $100 late filing fee. Based on that, it is a recommendation of council that the matter is dismissed.
All right, thank you. Any questions or comments for council? None appearing. With respect to file number 2026-016, it is a recommendation of council that the complaint in the matter be dismissed. Is it moved?
Move, Pietzi.
Second Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. Item 9 on the agenda, file number 2026-024, Attorney Jaslowicki.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Attorney Zach Jaslowicki for the Commission. This complaint was brought by a resident of Wyndham and alleges that proper procedures were not followed during special town meetings held to authorize bond appropriations. A preliminary investigation into the matter revealed that the authorization process for the bond appropriations were special town meetings, 2 of them. The Commission has consistently held that, barring some limited exception, it does not have jurisdiction concerning the propriety of actions taken at town meetings. The complaint here made no such allegation that would fall under Title IX. The Commission can conclude that it does not have jurisdiction regarding the procedures of these special town meetings. We'd ask that the attached notice of dismissal be adopted.
Any questions or comments for council? None appearing. With respect to file number 2026-024, it is the recommendation of council that the complaint in the matter be dismissed. Is it moved?
Move, Pietzi.
Second Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor, none opposed, no abstentions. Item 10 on the agenda, file number 2026-044, Attorney Jaslowicki.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Zach Jaslowicki for the Commission. On May 1st, 2025, respondent William Finger, through counsel, filed a self-reported complaint based upon a belief that they may have potentially violated the prospective state contractor contribution ban detailed in General Statutes 9-612, subsection F. Investigation into the matter revealed that the respondent was not a principal of a state contractor as defined by 9-612 at the time subject contributions were made. The commission concludes, therefore, the respondent did not violate General Statutes 9-612F and that this self-reported matter should be dismissed.
Any questions or comments for council? None appearing with respect to file number 2026-044, it is the recommendation of council that the complaint in the matter be dismissed. Is there a motion to that effect?
Move Pietsu.
Second Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? None appearing. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? None appearing. The motion carries with 4 voting in favor. None opposed. No abstentions. Are there any other matters to come before the commission at this time? None appearing. The next regularly scheduled meeting of the commission will be May 28 at 3:30. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn. Pietsu.
Second Berquist.
Moved and seconded. Those in favor of the motion will raise their hands and or say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you all. We'll see you the next time around.
Thank you, everybody.